There goes your son. You want it, Anita?
Why you trying to make it so easy?
Well, it's like it's like it. I can't teach you how to be a man. It's your job.
I wasn't.
Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Glory, glory to the eternal, forever living God. It is your brother Jehoshaphat Israel here in the house that God has made. And, you know, coming back from my Sabbath weekend, what I learned is one thing that is unavoidable. You can't avoid this. One day, everything is going to go to hell for you in your life. So what I want from you is to acknowledge the day that some people call it Murphy Law. They say when Murphy Law happened, everything goes bad. Won't nothing go right. Okay, you can call it that. But I'm letting you know that one day it could happen every month. It could be twice a month. It could be every 6 months. It could be once a year. However it might unfold in your lives, my brothers and sisters, you must understand that everything will go wrong in one of your days. So you yourself, you're gonna have to acknowledge when it happens, when it's happening. You know what I'm saying? When it's happening. It starts early in the morning time. It doesn't stop till late in the afternoon. So when you acknowledge the fact that this is a Murphy day and, you know, everything is gonna go to SHIT, you need to lean back. You need to lean back. You don't need to be stressing off of stuff outside of the power of your own hands, because some things will go wrong. Trying to explain that to a woman is very hard. They think that everything is supposed to be perfect, but we live in an imperfect world. My brothers out there, they understand exactly what I'm talking about. Brother, because I don't know if my sisters will understand. Hopefully they'll come back. Brother, you got to acknowledge today is going to be a Murphy day. Anything that will go bad, and you still going to have to deal with it, and you still going to have to keep your head up, and you still going to have to get your business done. So lean back, my brother. No worries, no stress. Don't stress out. Don't be sitting over there turning your hair gray because you stressing out on all these different events that's taking place in your life, and all the effort that you have put forth has gone for a naught. You have to acknowledge these days. Now, glory, glory to the eternal living God. Now, from the background, I can bet you could probably guess what the topic for tonight is. And the topic is, can a woman raise a man? I want you to look at some of the things that they're saying about women who try to raise a man. A mama boy may struggle with independency and self-sufficiency, relying heavily on a mother for emotional support and decision-making can hinder personal growth and his ability to navigate adulthood confidently. So just imagine, out of all the men in the world that was raised by their mothers, they did a survey. And in the survey, this is what they're saying about a woman raising a man. Romantic partners may feel threatened or uncomfortable with the level of dependency on the mother. This can lead to conflict, jealousy, and feeling of inadequacy in the romantic relationship, potentially causing a drift. This is what happens when a mother, she's sitting there and she trying to raise a man. From what I know from my friends that was raised by their mothers, they're very emotional. They are. And the men in my life, they taught me how to harness all my emotions and to channel it in the right way that it's supposed to go. All the men that I deal with that are raised by their mother, they are emotional like a woman. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men that get mad at me for saying that, but they the one causing conflict, and they the ones that don't know how to control their own emotion. Men taught me that don't nobody give a damn about your emotions. Don't nobody care. They ingrained that in me as a child. You are a man. Don't nobody care about a man. Don't nobody care if a man's sick. Don't nobody care if a man get fired. Don't nobody care if a man can't pay his rent. Don't nobody care about that man trying to raise his kids. Don't nobody care about a man. So the older men that I know, they told me to bottleneck all my emotions and then channel it where it needs to go. Men that are raised by their mothers, ain't nobody never told them that. So they act emotional like women. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. They be the first ones to fight. A man is rational. He's going to think about everything. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be so quick to fight like that. A lot of men nowadays are so quick to fight because they're raised by a woman. And women fight like that. You know what I'm saying? Women fight like cats and dogs. I ain't never seen so many men that gossip like women. Gossip like schoolgirls. He, and kiki, and they can't wait to spread the next man business. That's what a woman does. Okay, let's keep going. So the question for tonight, can a woman raise a man? Okay. A mama boy, because that's what they call them, a mama boy may find it harder to set appropriate boundaries with their mother, leading to an unhealthy dynamics. This can cause issues in other relationships as the individual might struggle to prioritize their partnership needs over their mother. So we're going to look at it tonight. You heard what I said. You know what I'm saying? This is what when they took all these men and they put the fine microscope on them and they started examining them, asking them questions. Where was your father? This is all of what they said and what they picked up on men who were raised by their mother. Now, a lot of men are going to be mad at me for saying it, but a lot of men that's not raised by men, they're very promiscuous. They don't have no boundaries like that. They'll sleep with anything. You know what I'm saying? Anytime, anywhere. A man ain't gonna tell his son to do that. A man gonna say, like I told my children, go out there and find yourself a wife. It's hella hard out here, sons. You don't want to be this age trying to find a good woman in your life. You got a chance to find a good girl right now. Settle down. Be with that woman. Take her, marry her, have a family. This is what men tell other men. But when you take that father out of the picture, where does that leave that man? It's a lot of brothers out there that got a ratchet behavior and they get all of that stuff from their mama. You know what I'm saying? They don't get it from their daddy because their daddy wasn't around. But let's look at it. Okay, can a woman raise a man? I don't think so. A woman can raise a good person, I could think, that got good morals and good qualities and good ethics and good principles. But what it takes to be a man is not found inside of a woman. And from what the Lord said, the woman is the weaker vessel. So how can the weaker vessel teach a man how to be a man? Can't. So we're going to look at this tonight.
Can a woman raise a black man? The answer is no. We can feed him and clothe him, give a place to live, take care of him, but we cannot raise a black man because we can't teach him how to stand, how to sit, how to handle his emotions, how to process them, how to behave, and how to protect himself. We put our men out here, our boys, vulnerable because we have refused to tell him who his open enemy is. We have made him vulnerable to anybody can kill him and do anything to him because we have told him that he's evil. We have not told him that there's some people out here that want to kill you every day and that any opportunity you give them, they're going to do it. We didn't.
And I notice with women, sisters tell a young man things that they can do. So it's true. You know what I'm saying? It's true what she's saying. A sister, a black woman, will tell a young black man or man stuff that they can get away with, and they do. Ain't none of that stuff that we can do or we can get away with, and you put us in harm's way when y'all sit up there and tell us stuff that y'all do. That's not stuff that men do, and it comes with a price. It comes with a penalty to that young man thinking he can go out in the world and be like a woman is. You know what I'm saying? Do the things that a woman can get away with, the things, you know what those things are things that a woman can do. And it's not so, I'm not talking about sexually complicit. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the behaviors, the attitude of a woman. A woman can get away with that stuff. A young black man cannot. I'm sorry, Sister Shabazz, to cut you off. Excessive attachments to a mother can limit social interactions with peers. A mama's boy might prioritize spending time with their mother over engaging in friendship or participating in social activities, which can lead to feeling of loneliness and isolation.
teach them that because we thought integration would solve that. We didn't tell him, be careful of them. They're not your friend. You can interact with them and, of course, be civilized, but don't think that they're your friend. And of all the things you do, don't go marry your enemy's daughter. Don't bring that into our bloodline. We didn't tell our boys none of that. And so they out here doing anything, thinking it's just natural. Our men want something, and they don't care what it costs because the white women don't necessarily like the rest of the black people, but they like the black man that's got money. And the moment that they break up, they show you who they really are. And the other bad thing about that for us is that they take their resources to the white community.
I just want to add on what Sister Shabazz said. It's true. My sons, they have, but they only date black women. All of their children are black children. So when she says what she says, the father got to teach the young boy to date inside of his race. It is true. You know what I'm saying? It is true. Look at my sons. They only date their own. They not dating Mexican women. They not messing with white women. They ain't messing with Mexican women. They mess with black women only. So think about it. Sister Shabazz, go ahead. My bad.
Because she's going to make sure that her people are taken care of. And our men don't as much make sure that we're taken care of. Because when a man gets married, he gets pulled to his wife's side just automatically almost. That's just how that is, you know. And the wife has more say-so. She has more authority. And she has more pull because she's sleeping.
But that's something we give to the woman. Every man, we give this as a gift to a woman to let her know that whatever you think and whatever you say, it means something to us. We're going to respect that. We're going to honor our women. We're going to love them. Okay, next up, we got our elderly brother that's on the mic for tonight. Elderly brother, can you tell us, can a woman raise a man? Your personal thoughts and opinions.
I don't care how dynamic the woman is. She can't raise a man.
Yeah.
A man needs another man to allow him to be the man that he's supposed to be. She can feed him, clothe him, give him all the love in the world, help educate him. But she can't make him a man. He needs it.
And that man, he needs that. We, as men, we're not sitting up here saying that a young boy doesn't need the affection, the love, the emotions coming from his mother. Every man needs that.
To see, it's just like a lioness, a lion rather, a baby cub needs to see the male lion. Female lions is all around. They're the hunters. But he needs to see and hear the roar. You know, of the male lion. Now you saw the little thing, Simba, you know, he needs to see that. So what happens if he's not at home, the young boy searches for it. So the leader of the gang becomes his father.
And it's sad, you know what I'm saying? It's sad what our older brother is saying, because that young male is gonna look around. He's gonna look at, you know what I'm saying? And some of the times when he's looking at other men, those men are not so good themselves. So the tradition of the generational curse is just passed on. It's just passed down. Now look at this. If a person is overly reliant on their mother for guidance, they may not develop the skills necessary to resolve conflict. Independency. This can result in difficulty handling disagreements in personal relationships or at work. Now, I'm not going to play all of what my brother said here, but I want you to hear him out. Okay, why is it not a lot of men like the way I was raised? Honorable, respectful, dependent, reliant. I said respectful, honorable, all those good qualities. You know what I'm saying? Why is it not more men like us?
Rare is because of
my bad. Let's go all the way back.
Why are disciplined men becoming rare? In your opinion, disciplined men are becoming rare is because of mainly the lack of a father figure in the homes. Just over time, you see it. A woman can't raise a man. A woman can raise an adult, but a woman can't raise adolescent boy to be a man. You have to have that presence from a man. in some form of fashion, in a house preferably. But that's where it's coming. And then now, and you see it, the mothers, single mothers coddling younger boys, and it transitions to that society in some forms of fashion, and you got it from both ends. You got the coddling, and then you have the hard, realistic world lessons for a man. It's not welcoming at all. So what that leaves, you either super coddled or you're super angry.
And that's what I see in a lot of men today. Just like my brother said, you know what I'm saying? They really don't know how to express themselves like that. They don't know how to control they feelings. And the first thing that they gonna think is emotional. And that's not logical. You know what I'm saying? That is a woman's trait. I can't say I'm sorry for that, but that's what a lot of what I see. Now, the pressure to meet parental expectations can lead to a fear of failure. This may result in the avoidance of challenges or taking risks, stunning personal growth, and preventing the individual from reaching their full potential. This is caused when you take the man out of the house. This is caused by the woman trying to raise the boy as if she is a man and she is not. Thank you for coming to the show tonight, brother. Thank you for coming to the show tonight.
Our mothers have done an excellent job in raising us, but they have done a piss poor job in raising me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Wait, pause.
I'm sorry.
No.
As a unit, majority of the population, bro, y'all is pillow princesses, dog. Y'all want to be pampered. Y'all want to be
What's wrong with
chased.
that?
There's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, if y'all want the respect,
What's your
that is-
definition of chaste, though? That's what I need to know.
my definition of chaste is okay. If I call you and I say, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? You good? You straight? Da 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 da. Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna call you right back. Don't call me back for 2-3 days.
But that's not
weird.
Jason. Maybe he busy. Or maybe he don't f you like you think he f you.
Because me personally, I'm
Now,
Population.
as far as in chasing the woman, women are completely different now. Whatever a man is on, that's the same thing that a woman is on. And you can't have both of these elements in the same damn room. One of them is going to have to be a masculine and one of them is going to have to be a feminine. And it seems like now the woman, she wants to be more masculine. So how that's going to work? You know what I'm saying? That's like a positive and a negative. That's like a negative trying to attract to a positive. How the hell that's going to happen like that? So let's see what else is going on with the mama's boy. A mama boy may have difficulty expressing emotions outside of the mother-son dynamics. This can lead to challenges in communication, failing in romantic relationships or friendships, ultimately impacting emotional intimacy. Okay, big bro, I know you answering the woman, but I want to see what you got to say about it as well.
Can a woman raise a man? Before you answer that, you think about how many single women that are out there doing a great job raising men, doing a great job raising men.
Based off my experience, it's possible.
Yep.
A lot of women are forced into that role
Yep.
when that man choose not to step up to the plate or their relationship don't work out.
I absolutely think a woman can raise a man to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Dealing with this real world.
Now, y'all all seen from the movie that I played at the beginning of the clip, Boys in the Hood. Do you know how long it took that man, Lawrence Fishburne, to sit up there and beg that woman to drop his son off so he can raise him? Now, if that was going on in the 80s, why wouldn't it be going on in the 90s, 2000, 210, 220? It's the same. Ain't nothing. A man always try to come around his children. The man always try to get the son. The man always try to get his son to live with him. And after the son rejects the father, he finds out that the mother can be downright cruel, because all the things that the father would do and have and teach for the son, the mother doesn't do any of those things at all. They don't even think like a man. So once more again, how can they raise a man?
Girl, putting this family on your back type stuff, it's very hard for a woman to be able to explain that to a man. And I think women can do it, but I think it's a lot harder for a woman to do it than a man.
Okay, my older brother, can you explain to us what is the purpose of the woman being leading in her feminine role in the household as the wife, as the mother, with her son?
Mothers are too in love with their sons. There is a time where they should be in their sons' lives. They have to deal with feeding them and making sure that they are well and they understand life at the young stage. But there comes a point in a boy's life where he needs a man, and it might not be his father. It should be an uncle. It should be a grandfather. It should be a cousin. It should be a nephew. But he has to have a male in his life that can be an example. You have to lead by example. He cannot go into the world watching what his mother does all day long, or his grandmother. And unfortunately, that's where our young male are. And if you watch what's happening when you look at videos and when you look at young men now, they have a certain emotional discord about themselves. Rather than looking rationally at a situation, rather handle it from the emotional standpoint. And that can get you into trouble.
You know that's true. You know what I'm saying? You know that's true because I have experienced it in so many different men. Me and my brothers, we gonna talk about it. My brother is mad at me, but he's not gonna ball up his fist and punch me in my eye. He gonna come talk to me as a man and tell me what the hell is going on, how I offended him, without reverting to any violence. And my brothers is gonna get their damn point across. I'm gonna come to my brothers as a man and I'm gonna tell them where they offended me. I don't have to get angry with them. I don't have to pick up a gun. I don't have to end his life and my life, me going to prison. All I have to do is talk to that man like a man. That's about it. Men don't know how to do that no more. And it's sad, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of conflict is started over this issue. Gully, can you tell me what's going on with my brothers nowadays? You know what I'm saying? I can't say all of them is my brothers because some of them want to be an enemy because they gonna sit up here and be all emotional like a damn woman. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna come to me like a man. They gonna come all feminine with their hands up. But Gully, can you tell us what the hell's going on over here?
Bro, nowadays these moms, they raising pussies, man. You know what I mean? Back in the day, the kid got out of line. It was like, wait till your dad get home. Ooh, wait till your dad was the most.
I used to remember that. That used to scare the hell out of me right there. Because I know dad get off at 12 o'clock. I know dad been working all day. When he take off them boots, he gonna want to go to sleep. He gonna want to get some rest. Now he has to deal with my knothead ass, and he gonna whoop the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? He gonna whoop the SHIT up out of me, and I'm gonna remember that ass whooping, and I'm gonna remember not to be doing those things again. Mothers really can't strike the fear into a young boy. They can't strike no fear. You know what I'm saying? They can't strike no fear at all.
Threatening shit you could say now is like, fuck your dad. You ain't gotta listen to him. All because the dad he don't want to be with you no more. He decided to go another way. Now, but there ain't no accountability being held in the house. That's why these young boys is bitches. They ultra emotional. They killing chicks.
I didn't say it. He said it for me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't call him that. But Gully, thank you, Gully. He said it for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying my best not to do no cussing. He said it for me. That's my feelings. My interest. My sentiment.
I can't live no more. They pussies, man. For real, man. But y'all women, y'all raising pussies. Because y'all put all the discipline down on them ladies, though. On them little girls, y'all put the discipline down on them. On these niggas, y'all just let them do what they want to do. You know, and the dad tell him something, you go against his dad. All this. Back in the day, the mom would stand next to the dad no matter what. The dad putting that discipline down, the mom right there.
And she would pump that fear. When your daddy come home, I'ma tell him. That's all she had to say. You know what I'm saying? That's all she didn't have to put her hands up. She didn't have to yell at us. She didn't have to scream at us. She didn't have to put us on punishment. She didn't have no disciplinary actions besides from when I'ma tell your daddy, when he get home, your whole heart stop. Your head hurt. You start crying. You got that snot in your nose and tears in your eyes. Remember your dad used to whoop your ass so hard that you would do this. Quit crying. Remember that? A woman can't do that. You know what I'm saying? A woman cannot strike fear. You know what I'm saying? A young boy has to be feared. He has to have fear pumped in him for him to respect his father. A woman cannot do that. That same fear brings humbleness. That same fear brings compliance. That same fear brings order in the house and structure in the young man.
Yup. You better listen to your father now, because he ain't fucking the brake pads off you no more. Don't let.
Brother Gully, thank you for coming to the show tonight to explain to all these sisters out here, because they really don't understand. You know what I'm saying? They let this feminist movement trick them for them to actually think that they are actually raising good men. Am I saying that some of them boys don't have what it takes to be a man? No, I'm not saying that. Every young man has the potential to be a great man, a great leader, a great father, a great provider. But the element of the fatherhood, it has to be there. You know what I'm saying? It has to be involved in that little boy's life. Gilly, thank you for coming to the show tonight. Thank you for coming to the show tonight. Okay, my beautiful sister, what are you going to add to this great collective in this conversation that we having for tonight? You know, a lot of my sisters are mad that I would even have this topic for tonight. But hey, this is something that you need to hear, because y'all need help. You can't raise that boy all by yourself. You need some strong men in your life. Where's your uncles? Where your grandfather at? Where is your father? Where is your brothers at? Where are your cousins? Because you need to bring that little boy around them, and good ones, not the scamming, not the drug dealing, not the stealing, not the gangster, not the prisoner, not none of them. A real stand up man, if he gonna make it in this world. But I'm sorry, sister, go ahead.
No, a woman can't raise a man, but she could damn sure raise a good human being. And you know, they say, I don't know who needs to hear this, but I know there's a mother who needs to hear this. Sometimes God gives you that baby for you, because he entrusts you with that child. And I'm not an advocate for women being single mothers. I am not an advocate for women bringing children into the world with men who are not ready for the responsibility of fatherhood. However, there are some circumstances where, hey, we're in this situation, and
how about practice abstinence? How about practice celibacy? What's wrong with that? You can't keep your legs closed. You know what I'm saying? You don't have enough sexual discipline upon yourself to where you jumping from one pole to the next pole to the next pole to the next pole. Then you want a good man? That doesn't make any sense. Men are looking for a woman that it has sexual discipline. Sexual discipline. She knows how to control herself.
And you must know that God gave you that baby for a reason. Because while you cannot raise a man, probably don't have the tools and the equipment to do that, you have what it takes to raise a good human being. Someone who is morally upright,
Then why are all the men acting the way that they acting now if they raising good people? The majority of black men right now are raised by a mother, a woman, and a lot of them do whatever the hell that they want to do because the fear of God was never introduced into their life. Structure was never discipline. Morals was never introduced into that child head like that. Don't get me wrong. Everybody has a choice to make. This is given. But when you introduce a good man in a child's life, that child is going to thrive. That child is going to pick up all the great values and attributes and morals and discipline and structure from that man. Not a woman, sister. I'm sorry. I love you. I got to tell you, I love you, sister, but damn. You know what I'm saying? The only way you're going to have some real stand-up young men in your life is to put them through the fire with another man. Only. Sister, thank you for coming to the show tonight. Thank you for coming to the show tonight.
Spiritually grounded and emotionally stable. So that's my piece for the day. You got this. We got this.
I'm going to say this tonight. If you have a son and you are a single mother, it is your duty to get your son around positive men, or even men that fuck up.
But why though? Why is it important to bring a young boy around a man?
Listen, we're not perfect, but at least he has an opportunity to see what the hell he shouldn't be doing. Don't coop him up and confuse him out, because trust me, if your energy is the only energy he knows as he comes up, he's like a voiceless child. He'll always seek that voice in every relationship or every aspect of his life that he goes through. You have ignorant motherfuckers like Kodak Black and all of them moving around the country, and you see our kids watching this shit, watching them, wanting to be them, wanting to emulate these goofy motherfuckers, man. And it's just that. But they come from that.
Okay, let me take the time to finish off this study. Okay, relying too heavily on a mother can create unrealistic expectations for partners or friends, as the individual may look to replicate the nurturing and support they receive from their mother and their adult relationships. This is what happens to so many different men. They are seeking something that only a woman can provide them, and they never got the masculinity of a man to kind of diffuse that out of them like that. So they only rely on what the mother taught them. Let's go back. Relying too heavily on a mother can create unrealistic expectations for partners or friends, as the individual may look to replicate the nurturing and support they receive from their mothers and their adult relationships. This is why they be acting like that. You know what I'm saying? This is why they be beating on their girls. They be crying out, talking about they got feelings. Y'all be up over there talking about, oh, they sassy, but y'all made them sassy. Y'all didn't make them men. They would know how to control themselves, conduct themselves, and know that we, as men, we have a special code. It's called respect. It's called honor. How can you call yourself a man if you can't honor another man? How can you call yourself a man if you can't respect another man? And they don't even respect other men. So how are they a damn man? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm telling y'all. Now, y'all can sit up there and be mad at me for giving you the harsh reality of the truth, but this is something that you're going to have to hear. And it always comes to pay back the mother back in the end. It always, when she raised them up with the femininity, it's going to come back to bite her in the end. It always does. So I'm trying to spare you, sister, because I got love for you. You my sister. You my people. And I'm telling you, this is a problem in our community. Okay, older brother, thank you for coming to the show tonight. Can you please continue?
That which is not the book of man. I'm in my bag, man, and it bothers me to see this go on. Like I said, I don't knock people in their choices, but be responsible. Okay? Why are you looking around out here, man, and you see this stuff?
Brother, it is too many different tutorships and memberships that a young boy can join. It's too many of them. So for a sister, a black woman, to sit up here and say, oh, well, you know, Jehosa, I didn't find no good mentors. There's always the Boys and Girls Club. There's always mentorship with a black man trying to teach another young black man what he has to deal with. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the father, uncle, brother, grandfather. It doesn't have to be. There's always a big brother out there. Always. There is too many different mentorship programs for young black men to join. So y'all sitting up there saying, oh, I'm joining, I'm raising him all by myself. Don't act like we not trying to help y'all. It's too many different memberships that you can join, that you could send him to. It could be something easy like karate class. Anywhere, you know what I'm saying? Pick up the phone, look online, look in your local city. There's a gang of black men trying to teach black men to be black men all around in your city. So y'all don't have no excuses at all.
Man, most people get caught up with eye tricks. Okay? The young girl talked about Dennis Rodman and talked about Prince and talked about this. But I'm gonna tell you, God damn it, everybody knows that motherfuckers was they was freaking in Hollywood. Okay? You don't know what kind of situations the motherfuckers got caught up in and having to move the way they move. You're not gonna tell me that the majority of these jokers that are moving around the way they move around are moving just because they want to move like that. That's bullshit. Leverage is a motherfucker.
And always will be. Thank you, big bro, for giving us your insight. Thank you for coming to the show tonight.
Talk about real dads today. Not fathers, but I want to talk about dads. Anybody can be a father. Take a real man to be a daddy. See, Father's Day changes as you get older. Sometimes being a father just like me.
Now, just because I'm sitting here talking to my brothers and my sisters that are so-called African Americans don't mean that this is not a problem that goes across the board of all races of people. This affects all the white people. This affects all the Latinos. This affects all the Asians. This affects all the Indians. It's not a man off the face of this earth that's not affected, or a woman, by this very issue.
Hollywood star Jim Iyke has sparked heated debate with his recent comments about single motherhood. The actor declared that single mothers cannot raise boys into real men without the involvement of a male figure.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Okay.
Totally. I believe that, because I'm a mother of a girl and a boy, I believe that single mothers might not necessarily raise boys who will be failing to crime and all of that, but they might not raise boys who know how to be in their full masculinity.
There's a stage in a man's life that it's not only for boys, for even the girls as well. Because there are stages in their life that they need that father figure, a man that will guide them, tell them about, and most especially about relationships and, how to go on with life and how to choose the right partner.
It's a no-brainer to think that one parenting is the best. The family system is built for both mother and father. We can't dispute the fact.
Masculinity does not mean that you're domineering and ordering. The problem is that most of the boys who are products of single mothers whose fathers were not fully present, or whose fathers too were such products, you will see them, they'll be failing socially in owning their masculinity, except they think it is for strength alone.
But raising a child most of the time, it depends on the home. I always say it depends on the home. What is the spice in your home? What are your kids growing up to seek? You ask, is it possible for anybody to be without a father figure? Sometimes it's possible, regardless of them. But sometimes those men are readily available or around to take care of these guys.
Okay,
as we're not
sisters from the great African country, thank you for chiming in on this. Okay, in the long run, being a mama's boy can influence how an individual approaches parenting. They may struggle to balance their relationships with their mother while trying to establish their family dynamic with their partner. It causes a gang of problems. You know what I'm saying? It causes a gang of problems. Okay, before I let my sister give her two-piece, okay, often faces development and behavior difficulties through their childhood. For example, the separation of parents and guardians impact children's relationship with their parents, their education, their health, and their well-being. You can't beat stacks. You cannot beat studies. You cannot beat all these people who live their life after being raised with a mother, and then this is what they said without having their father. Often facing developmental and behavioral difficulties through their childhood. For example, the separation of parents, guardians impact children relationship with their parents, their education, their health, and their well-being, all on just a man not being around his son. All just on the man not being around his son and his daughter in the household. It is a lot.
A woman cannot raise you to be a man. She can raise you, like Dream said, to be respectful, to be courteous, to be polite, to have manners, right?
To be a decent human.
To be a decent human. But after that, that's where the baton is handed to a man. He has to see a man, whether that be like Willie said, in a community, right? In school, somewhere, this young boy has to see a male figure, because men only respect men. I didn't make the rules. That's life.
I see.
A man, a woman can't raise a man.
Keep saying that.
I mean, she just can't.
It's true.
She nurtures, a woman can nurture a boy until he starts into those stages of a man. And it takes a man to raise a man in a positive. In a positive. It takes a man.
Thank you, older brother, for coming to the show, because you taught me a young man needs to be nourished by a woman. He has to, but that's not the final component or element that he needs to become a man. Now look at this. Look at the stats and look at the statistics. Okay, more than 90% of male prisoners and mass shooters are dad deprived. Males and 85% of youths in prison grew up in a fatherless home. So you could take all them people that are in prison right now. 90% of them never had a father in the house, never had a dad in their life whooping their ass, never had a dad in their life that they could confide in, never had a dad that they could come tell what's going on with them in their life to build them up to be greater men. 90% of all men in prison right now come from a single mother home. Listen what the stats are saying. More than 90% of males in prison and mass shooters are dad deprived males, and 85% of youths in prison grew up in a fatherless home. So you can say that you raise. Am I saying that you're raising a monster? No, I'm not saying that. But it's a higher chance that they're gonna end up in prison or a mass shooter or locked up somewhere because they don't have their dad. You cannot beat statistics. And remember, this goes across the board for all of them. Okay, they say mass shooters, but in the black family, they should say gang related. About 70% of all young men that are in gang never had a father. Black men, I can say that confidently if these are the numbers that I am looking at.
When you're raising especially a boy, I came from a household where it was just a mom. I had my grandfather and I had my pops, but there was no men in the household. I started arguing with females once I started to go through things. It got physical wars, you know why? Because I was an emotional boy. I didn't have nobody in the household to say, okay, look, this is not how you go about it. Go to the gym. I had to learn this from YouTube. Read books. Hold on, let me finish. I had to read books. Go on YouTube. Do these different avenues I had to learn. Yes. Grandpa telling me certain things, Pops telling me certain things. But when you have a man in a household, the chances of that boy that's becoming a man to grow up emotionally, 80% of the people that's in jail came from single household mothers. Meaning this, if I'm in a club and a nigga step on my sneakers, they're all suck, bro, what you doing? Now guess what? Somebody dies, somebody go to jail. You know why? Because that boy wasn't raised in a household with men. That's the problem in society, because females with the mindset that I don't need a man, that's the reason why we have females in this generation that's having kids. I don't need a man. Now they growing up without a father. Now y'all raising emotional.
And not only, thank you, brother, for coming to the show today to express your own personal feelings on your lived experience. It's kind of hard to argue with somebody that has a lived experience. You told us what you think and how you feel. But the reason why so many different women is so many different cases of abuse, spousal abuse, and dudes just beating on their women is because of how women are raising young men. Y'all raising them like that. You know what I'm saying? This is how y'all raising them. And this is how they be acting when they don't have a real male that come around. You know what I'm saying? So you can say y'all the problem in society. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, because y'all raising these little boys not to be men because you don't have what it takes to be a man. Why you sitting over there saying you don't need a man and you need a man in your life? You cursed if you don't have a man. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Remember, sister, all my brothers, they agree with me. They're not going to argue with me. The only ones that's going to argue with me is the one that was raised by a woman. You know what I'm saying? That's the only ones that's going to have something bad to say and bad looks when they see me tomorrow. They gonna be looking at me crazy because they was raised by their mama. I'm not emotional. I'm not illogical like them. I know how to carry myself as a man because I was taught by men. Just because you can say that you're a man and you don't know how to respect another man, you are not a man. Just because you can say you a man and you don't know how to honor other men, you are not a damn man. So, you know, I did this video out of love to y'all so society can change. A lot of things are riding out on the dysfunction, the debauchery that y'all are creating as women. Even if they don't even have a daddy like that, y'all still creating this dysfunction in men. And this is the result that you get 20 years later. A man so quickly to put his hands on a woman, a man so quickly to disrespect a woman. We was taught to honor women, to love women, to protect women. Look at the men now and you tell me if they act like us. So quick to put their hands on a woman. You mean to tell me you beat your woman like that? Why? You know what I'm saying? You not a man. You know what I'm saying? You was never raised by a man to be a man. That's the damn problem. But once more again, your brother, Jehoshaphat Israel, I did this video out of love because I want to see a change in my people. But it starts with the nourishment that you're feeding into these little boys. Y'all the reason why the community's looking the way that it's looking because of what you putting into these little boys. You can't get off in their ass like a man can. But, sister, I'll fall back. My brothers, they enjoyed the things that I'm saying because they remember them ass whoopings. They remember the fear that their father struck on them to where they would damn near run away from home. Then go home and get that ass whooping from their daddy because they know it's coming. And I come from the old school. Your dad could already whoop your ass for something that you did. If he thinks about it again, he's going to whoop your ass again over something that you did long ago in the past. The fear of a man on a child. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. I love y'all. That's why I gave y'all this video, even though you'll hate me for it. Peace and blessings be to your night. Until next time, glory, glory to the King of the heavens and the earth. And let his righteousness burn for everlasting until everlasting.
Who's your son? Who's your son? You want it and you got it.
Why are you trying to make it so easy?
Well, it's like you told me. I can't teach him how to be a man.